Aloha guys, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Ginger and today we're going to be playing with something a little bit different. We're going to be moving a lot. As always, I invite you to call in any intention and move through anything that you would like to move through, let go of whatever you would like to let go of. But the idea that I had while playing with this sequence was to create more strength in body. So we're going to be moving a lot and we might be moving a little bit quicker. So make sure that you support yourself and you give yourself anything that you may need in order to feel more balanced in body. This is your practice, so make sure that you are always tuning in, checking in with body. We're actually going to start in a tabletop position, but if you would like, you can definitely sit and close your eyes for a moment and maybe intuitively ask yourself if there's anything that you need, like some water or a blanket or any kind of props. And if not, we will start in a tabletop. I'm actually going to turn this candle off because I don't know if the crackling is going to annoy anybody. Those woodwick candles are absolutely amazing. My fiance got it for me and I love it. I'm obsessed. Anyways, we're starting in a tabletop. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Let's just start by shifting our weight forward and back, getting into the wrists and inviting some subtle movement today. I think it's good to counter all of the movement that we're going to take with just some slow, gentle shapes, movements to start. Maybe we take little circles. Getting into the outer hips, we can let go of the head here. Maybe we reverse the circle, moving fluidly. And now we're just going to come back through our tabletop. We're going to take our variation of cat-cows. On our inhale, shoulders are going to roll on back body. We're going to pull the heart through, but we're going to bring right toes high. So engaging into the right glute, making sure not to open the right hip too much here. Pull heart through. Core is strong. Right glutes are engaged. Exhale to bring the right knee into nose, press into the hands to lift the back of the heart up to the sky, tucking tailbone, chin into chest, around the back body. Core is engaged. Inhale, pull the heart through, lift the right toes high. Exhale, right knee into nose, round the back body. Let's take a couple more. You can also take regular cat-cows if this isn't resonating with you today. Remembering always that this is your practice. Let's take one more. So we're meeting through our cat shape, and now we're just going to bring right toes extending towards the back of the room, but this time we're not lifting as much. So we're just keeping right leg extended straight behind us, making sure we're not opening right hip here. Maybe we come onto the left fingertips. Maybe left fingertips reach all the way forward, extending long here. And on our exhale, we're going to bring left elbow into the right knee, into nose, crunching it out, engage the core. Inhale to extend, either maybe taking another one of those, or maybe left hand reaches for the right toes, taking a bend into the right knee. And if we have the bind, maybe we find a little kick into the hand. Lengthening out the front of the right hip, opening left shoulder here. Inhale to extend, left fingertips and right leg long. Exhale to crunch it out, left elbow into the right knee. And let's release. So we're meeting through our tabletop and we're going to switch it out. Inhale to roll shoulders on back body, left toes lift this time, making sure left glute is engaged to help you lift the toes here so we're not really lifting out of the hip. Exhale, left knee into nose, round the back body. Inhale to lift the chest, lift left toes. Exhale, left knee into nose. Taking a couple more, moving at your own pace with your own breath. This might look like way more of a subtle movement for you, and that's okay because we're all targeting the same area in our body and getting the same benefits. We're all gonna meet with left knee into nose, and on our inhale, we're just gonna extend left leg long behind us, keeping hips square here. Maybe we come onto the right fingertips. Maybe right fingertips reach all the way forward, extend long like if someone was pulling you from your left foot and right fingertips. And on our exhale, we're gonna crunch it out, left knee, right elbow. Inhale to extend, and either taking a couple more of those, or maybe right hand reaches for the left toes. And if we have a bind, maybe we find a little kick here. Opening right shoulder, actively kicking into the right hand to lengthen out the front of the left hip. Inhale to extend once again. Exhale, crunch it out. Engage the core and release. Landing in our tabletop, let's just come onto the fingertips for a moment, and we're just gonna find a bounce in the upper body. So isolating and opening in the shoulder blades, starting to invite movement into body, warming up. And now staying on the fingertips, let's take a big step forward with the hands, bow the heart down. Maybe we find a bounce here as well. Activating this puppy shape. And now let's drop the palms if we were on our fingertips and just bow the heart down. Moment of stillness before we keep moving, opening the shoulders. Maybe heart reaches all the way down to the earth. It's okay if it doesn't. Just make sure that if it does reach the earth, it's reaching before the chin here. Big cycle of breath. And on our inhale, we're just gonna come back into a tabletop. I'm gonna give a couple different options here, and definitely feel free to play around with this. Option number one is to stay in a table. Engage into the core to bring right knee out into kind of a half frog. So engaging into the right glute here. Maybe we extend right leg, and then we just swap it out. Lifting left knee, so starting to invite some heat in the glutes. Option number two is to come into a kind of a plank, but kind of also a down dog shape, and bring the right toes out, and then bring the left toes out. So engaging into the glutes. Maybe we add a little hop in between each movement. So bringing right toes out, and then hop, bring left toes out. Taking a couple more, pressing through the hands. I believe these are called pendulums. So really engaging into the glutes here. A fun way to invite some strength and heat into the glutes, into the core. I definitely like to switch it up when I'm exercising so that I'm not always doing the same thing. And when you're ready, we're just gonna meet back in our tabletop if we took it further. And we're gonna play with keeping body exactly as it is. We're just gonna lift the knees till they're barely hovering above the mat. So slightly tucking tailbone. We have found our floating table. Could be where we stay. Maybe we come onto the right fingertips. Maybe right fingertips come to tap the left shoulder and release. Maybe we come onto the left fingertips. Maybe left fingertips come to tap the right shoulder and release. From here, we're gonna straighten legs out and come all the way forward into our high plank. Pressing through the hands, core is strong, glutes engaged. Exhale to send the hips back. Downward facing dog, first one of the day. Make it juicy, make it fun. I accidentally turned my mic off, so I had to restart. Sorry. So we're in our down dog. Taking a couple big cycles of breath here. First one of the day. This is one of those really well-rounded shapes. Also, head is underneath the heart, which is great. Maybe we shake out the head. We're gonna take one more big cycle of breath here, taking any last movements that you feel resonate with you. When you're ready, we're gonna come high onto the toes, take a deep bend in the knees, and on our exhale, we're gonna step or hop or float to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale to release. Inhale, rides the breath all the way up. Arms reach up overhead, maybe adding on a little back bend, engaging into the glutes here. And on our exhale, we're gonna come back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, plant the hands. We're gonna step it back, high plank. Staying strong through the core here. And now we're just gonna soften the knees down and simultaneously bend into the elbows to melt the heart down to the mat till it's barely hovering above the mat, or you can soften it all the way down to whatever resonates with you today. On our inhale, we're gonna press into the hands, tucking tailbone, chin into chest, rounding the back body, pressing the back of the heart to the sky. And now we're just gonna rebend into the elbows, softening heart. A couple more of this. Inhale to press into the hands, tuck the tailbone, chin into chest, rounding back body, finding our cat shape. And on our exhale, we're gonna bend into the elbows to slowly soften heart till it's barely hovering or till it's on the mat. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. We're all gonna meet through our cat shape. Maybe coming onto the fingertips for a moment. And release into our tabletop. From here, we're gonna soften the forearms down, lift the tailbone, lift the knees. So we are in our dolphin pose. Pressing into the forearms and into the hands to pull the heart towards the back of the room. From here, we're going to press into the hands to lift the elbows off the earth, finding chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a big cycle of breath here. From here, on our next exhale, we're going to come high onto the toes, and from the tailbone, ripple all the way forward, landing in our high plank. We're going to take it a step further than we did last time. Maybe right toes lift, engaging into the right glute here. Maybe coming onto the left fingertips. Maybe left fingertips extend forward, extending long here. Exhale to maybe crunch it out. Left elbow into the right knee, into the chest. Inhale to extend. Exhale to release. High plank. We're going to send the hips back. We're going to take a step back with the hands. And on our exhale, we're going to play with bending into the elbows until nose can tap the mat. Inhale to lift back up. We're going to rearrange ourselves into our down dog. And on our exhale, we're going to do the second side. Coming up into high plank. Maybe left toes lift. Left glute is strong, core is engaged. Maybe come to the right fingertips. Maybe right fingertips reach all the way forward. Exhale, engage the core, crunch it out. Left knee, right elbow. Inhale to extend, exhale to release. Take a step back with the hands, send the hips back. We're gonna bend into the elbows to tap the nose into the mat and lift back up. And now we're just gonna take a step forward with the hands, landing in our downward facing dog. Take a big cycle of breath here. When you're ready, we're gonna come high onto the toes, take a deep bend in the knees, and on our exhale, we're gonna step or hop into our Malasana yogi squat. So toes point out, sinking hips down. Fingertips are gonna reach forward as if something was pulling you, and we're really actively pressing the knees open here, so engaging into the glutes. From here, we're gonna plant the hands. We're gonna hop back into a chaturanga, meaning that our toes, once our toes touch the back of the mat, elbows are gonna be bent. So through chaturanga, inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we're gonna play with something here. You might have to modify, and that's totally okay. We're gonna stay tucked onto the toes, but we're gonna bend into the elbows, coming into our up dog. So moving fluidly like water. So we're in our up dog, but we're tucked onto the toes. Feet can even come out a little bit wider if you need some extra support here. On our exhale, we're gonna re-bend into the elbows, press into the hands to send the hips back. Downward facing dog, come high onto the toes, take a deep bend in the knees, exhale, hop forward. Malasana yogi squat, fingertips reach forward, engaging the glutes here. Exhale to plant the hands, step or hop back. into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Slowly bending into the elbows to pull the heart all the way through. And on our exhale, we're gonna re-bend into the elbows, press into the hands, send the hips back. Come high onto the toes, take a deep bend in the knees. Exhale, 2-step or hop forward. Malasana Yogi squat, fingertips reach all the way forward. And we're gonna take one more. Plant the hands, exhale to step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly bending into the elbows to pull the heart through. Finding up dog. Roll the shoulders on back body. Exhale, 2, press into the hands. Send the hips back. Downward facing dog. Let's take a big cycle of breath here. And when you're ready, let's come high onto the toes. Take a deep bend in the knees. Exhale to step or hop to the top of the mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale to release. Inhale, rides the breath all the way up. Someone's playing really loud music. I hope you can't hear that. Arms reach up overhead, maybe adding on a little back bend. And on our exhale, we're gonna come back down. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale to plant the hands, taking your vinyasa of choice. You can add on a crow pose or an inversion. You can step back, moving through whatever flow resonates with you. When you're ready, we're gonna come high onto the toes, take a deep bend in the knees. Exhale to step or hop to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale to release. Inhale, rides the breath all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, I had to wait for my neighbor to leave because his music in his car was really loud and I didn't want to mess up our flow. So on our inhale, right leg is going to extend in front of us, keeping left glute strong, engaging right hip flexor and right quad, knowing that you can always have a bend in your knee anytime I cue these. Knitting ribcage in, so we're kind of tucking the tailbone here. Maybe arms reach up overhead. Maybe we twist over to the right using the strength of the core. Left fingertips reach forward, right fingertips reach back. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, and on our exhale, we're slowly gonna come into our warrior 3, making sure we're still inviting right hip down, knitting rib cage up and in. Arms can always come to heart center or to airplane wings beside you. And on our exhale, we're slowly gonna bend into the left knee until right toes reach the back of the mat, keeping upper body as it is. So we're in a power lunge, also making sure that our stomach is not completely pressed up against left thigh. We're keeping integrity through the core here. And from here, we're gonna keep upper body as it is. We're just gonna face towards the left. So spinning upper body, twisting here, left bicep over the left ear. And on our next inhale, we're gonna open all the way up. Left fingertips reach back, right fingertips reach forward. Using the strength of the core here, staying strong through the legs. Maybe we find a reverse, left hand to the back of the right thigh, right fingertips up and over. And on our inhale, we're gonna bring left fingertips up and over as well. And we're gonna play with something here. Make sure that you modify if you feel like you are being called to. Hands are gonna come to heart center. We're slowly gonna bend into the right knee, tucking tailbone till right knee is barely hovering above the mat. We're gonna engage into the glutes and into the core first, and then we're gonna take a hop. Right toes are gonna hop towards the top of the mat, left toes are gonna come towards the back. And we're gonna take a couple more of those, making sure that we're engaging into the glutes before we hop, because our glutes keep us balanced. They're our stability muscles. So taking some switch lunges, firing up the heart rate, and creating so much strength through the legs, through the glutes. Let's take one more. We're all gonna land with right toes forward, left toes back. Let's re-straighten left leg, arms reach up overhead, high crescent, and on our exhale, we're gonna soften left knee down and straighten out right leg. Right toes pointing up, finding our Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Maybe we let go of the head for a moment, lengthening out the right hamstrings. And you could always take this further into Hanumanasana, or just further than Ardha Hanumanasana if you would like, but we're really early on in the practice. We've just begun, so it might not be the most graceful and eloquent expression of the splits that you've ever created in body, but that's okay because we're still reaping the same benefits. And just make sure that you're not overstretching or hurting yourself, because I have injured my hamstring before from overstretching my right one actually, and it's not a fun recovery. When you're ready, we're going to meet back through our Ardha Hanumanasana. If we took it further, and on our inhale, we're going to rebend into the right knee. Arms reach up overhead, Anjaneyasana, sinking hips down and forward. And on our exhale, we're going to bring hands to heart center and twist over to the right. Maybe left elbow presses against the right knee to help you twist. Maybe we gaze off the right shoulder. Maybe left knee lifts from the mat, engage into the core. And on our exhale, we're going to open up Warrior Two, gazing off the right fingertips, slightly tucking tailbone, left foot parallel to the back of the mat. Take an inhale here, and on our exhale, we're going to straighten out right leg, bending slowly into left knee, softening hips over the left foot, finding our Skandasana. Right toes are pointing up. Exhale to come back through our Warrior Two, gazing off the right fingertips here. On our inhale, we're going to reverse our warrior, left hand to the left thigh, right arm up and over. Exhale to cartwheel the hands down. We're going to kick right toes back, landing in a three-legged plank. And on our exhale, we're slowly going to bend into the elbows, finding chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, knowing that vinyasas are always optional. I lost my mic for a second. All sorts of stuff happening today. All fun. Let's come hand to the toes, take a deep bend in the knees, and on our exhale, we will meet at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale to release. Inhale, rides the breath all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And now we're going to do the second side. Inhale, left leg extends, knowing you can keep left knee bent. Right glute is strong. We're slightly tucking tailbone here. Maybe arms reach up overhead. Maybe we twist over to the left, strengthening out the core. Left fingertips reach back, right fingertips reach forward. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale to slowly come forward, finding our Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Knitting rib cage up and in, also making sure we're not really opening the left hip here. Micro bend in the right knee. And on our exhale, we're going to take a deep bend in the right knee and slowly release left toes to the back of the mat. Right fingertips are still reaching forward, so extending here in our power lunge. And now we're just gonna rotate upper body to the right. So using the strength of the core here, right bicep is over the right ear. And on our inhale, we're gonna open up. Left fingertips reach forward, right fingertips reach back. Maybe we find the reverse, right hand to the back of the left thigh, left hand all the way up and over. And from here, we're gonna re-straighten right arm, or reach right arm back up overhead. And we're gonna play with those switch lunges again. So hands come to heart center, slight tuck of the tailbone. Slowly bending into left knee. We're gonna engage into the glutes and take a hop. So left toes forward, right toes back. Let's take a couple more. Engaging into the core and really jumping from our glutes, because that will give us more integrity and also help us stay more stabilized, which I guess is the same thing. Let's take one more. We're all gonna land with left toes forward, right toes back,
Arms reach up overhead, high crescent. Exhale to soften right knee down to the mat and straighten out through the left leg, landing in our Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Letting go of the head for a moment. Moment to catch our breath. I'm definitely feeling warmer now. You can take this into splits if that resonates with you, knowing that it's all optional. I'm always warmer on this side, so it's always easier for me. But these are all options, and this is your practice, so you could even do something completely different than what I'm doing right now. As long as you're listening to your body and your inner wisdom and your intuition, which is completely infinite and unbound, knows no limits, then you can't go wrong. Because that inner voice is so wise. It always knows exactly what you need. And when you're ready, we're gonna meet through our Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. And on our inhale, we're gonna rebend into the left knee. Arms reach up overhead, sinking hips down and forward. Lots of length in the front of the right hip. Finding Anjaneyasana on our exhale, hands come to heart center. We're gonna twist over to the left. Maybe right elbow presses against the left knee. Maybe we gaze off the left shoulder. Maybe right knee lifts up off the mat. And on our exhale, we're gonna open up into our warrior two, right foot parallel to the back of the mat, gazing off the left fingertips. This could be where you stay. Maybe we straighten out left leg, slowly bending into the right knee to soften hips all the way over the right foot. We're here for just a moment. And on our exhale, we're gonna come back through our warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale to cartwheel the hands down, taking your vinyasa of choice. Maybe stepping straight back into down dog. Maybe we come into a three-legged plank and take a one-legged flow. We're all gonna meet in our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's soften the knees down to the mat for a moment and come to sit on the shins. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale to lean over to the right. So also slightly tucking the tailbone here. Just lengthening out the side body now that we're nice and warm. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale to lean over to the left. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Let's release the hands down. Send the hips back, downward facing dog. Coming high onto the toes, take a deep bend in the knees. Exhale to step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, rides the breath all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna take a similar flow. We're just going to switch it up a little bit and add some fun stuff. Inhale, right leg extends. Maybe arms reach up overhead, knitting ribcage in. Core is strong, glutes are on fire. Maybe we twist over to the right. Left fingertips reach forward, right fingertips reach back. Using the strength of the core here. Arms are gonna reach up overhead, possibly. And on our exhale, we're going to slowly come forward into our warrior three, knitting ribcage up and in. On our exhale, we're slowly gonna bend into the left knee until right toes reach the back of the mat. Fingertips are extending forward, power lunge. And now we're just gonna twist to the left. Left bicep over the left ear. Core is strong, so we're not really plopping over the left thigh here. And on our inhale, we're gonna open up. Left fingertips reach back, right fingertips reach forward. Maybe we find the reverse here. Maybe we sink hips even a little bit deeper. From here on our exhale, we're gonna open straight up into our Virabhadrasana 2. Warrior 2, gazing off the left fingertips. On our exhale, we're gonna straighten out left leg, slowly bending into right knee until hips are over the right foot. Landing in our Skandasana. It's okay to have hands on tops or on the floor. You can also be on your right toes. And from here, we're just gonna slowly release hips all the way down to the mat. So we're still planting through the right foot and still bending through the right knee. Maybe left hand comes to the right ankle, and we can start leaning over to the left, reaching right fingertips towards the front of the room. So we're really spinning right shoulder open here. Maybe right fingertips reach the left toes, although it's all optional. Also remembering to open the right knee here. So this is a very active shape. Taking any other variation of a side stretch is also beautiful. And from here, we're just gonna meet back in our seat. Left hand is gonna come by the left hips. We're gonna pivot left toes to face the left side of the mat, and we're gonna lift the hips, reaching right fingertips up and over. So playing with kind of a fun, different variation of Fallen Star. Lift the hips, pull the heart through, and on our exhale, we're gonna come back into our seat. And now with the hands or without the hands, we're gonna lift the hips, finding Skandasana. And on our exhale, we're gonna come forward, warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale to cartwheel the hands down. We're gonna kick left toes back into a three-legged plank. So staying strong through the core, through the glutes here. On our exhale, we're gonna bring left knee to tap the right elbow. Inhale to kick left toes back, three-legged plank. Exhale, left knee into nose. Inhale to kick left toes back, three-legged plank. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale to kick back, three-legged plank. Last one. Exhale to step left foot to the outside of the left hand. We're gonna press into the right hand to lift left fingertips up. Maybe left fingertips reach all the way forward, twisting out upper body. And on our exhale, we're gonna come to the outer edge of both feet and soften right hip down towards the mat. Left fingertips reach back. Revolved Skandasana, taking a big cycle of breath here before we keep moving. From here, we're gonna meet in our side plank, so modify however you need. We're gonna lift the hips, so keeping legs exactly as they are, and now we're just gonna send left toes back. And you can play with whatever you want here. What I'm going to invite is that we bring left hand to the base of the head and engage into the left hip flexors, into the left glutes, and into the obliques to bring left toes to the left side of the mat. Engage into the core, into the obliques to lift them high, and bring left toes to the right side of the mat. So taking some toe taps here, staying strong, modify however body needs. Engaging into the core. Let's take one more. And we're all gonna meet with left toes to what is now the left side of the mat. Maybe we come forward into our wild thing, pulling heart through. And from wherever we are going to meet in a seat. Right leg extends long, but we're gonna keep left knee bent here. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale to bow down. It's okay if you need a strap or a belt or a tie. If you feel pretty comfortable here, we could even find a bind behind the left knee and behind the back. All our options. Taking a big cycle of breath here. From here, we're gonna meet back through our wild thing. So planting right hand by the right hip, lifting hips high, left fingertips reach up overhead. And now I'm gonna invite that we play with some crunches. So we're gonna lift left toes and bring left knee into the left elbow. So engaging the core. And now we're gonna re-straighten, and let's take a couple more. Moving with your own breath, knowing this is all optional. Let's take one more. And now we're just gonna meet through our three-legged plank again, if possible. Left toes kick back. On our exhale, we're gonna bring left foot to the outside of the left hand, sinking hips down and forward, but right knee is gonna stay lifted off the mat. Let's start by shifting our weight forward and back here. Maybe we even straighten out through the left leg. all our options. Sending right heel towards the mat. Maybe we even come onto the left heel. Letting go of the head. So we're shifting left hip back and right hip forward here. And now we're just gonna rebend into the left knee. We're all gonna meet in a three-legged down dog, left toes sweeping high, but maybe we play with catching our balance in an Eka para Kundanyasana 2 here. So we would start by bringing left shoulder underneath the left knee. Brain fart moment, sorry. And engaging into the hip flexors and into the left quad, we're gonna play with lifting left toes. Maybe arms come into chaturanga and we can play with lifting the right toes as well. We're not really lifting too high. We're more playing with keeping hips straight here. Ooh, my blocks got in the way. And now we're just gonna send left toes back. Three-legged down dog, either planting left toes next to the right or maybe we bend into the elbows to pull the heart all the way through up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's come high onto the toes, take a deep bend in the knees. Exhale to step her up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale to release. Inhale, rides the breath all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. I have to adjust my microphone like 20 times. And now we're gonna just bow over, lean over to the right, so right hand can reach for the left wrist, lengthening out the side body. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale to send the hips forward, bring arms out to cactus, pulling the heart through, engaging into the glutes for any back bend. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale to lean over to the left. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And now we're gonna move on to the second side. So make sure that you give yourself anything you need, whether that's water or if you just need to take a breather. Inhale, left leg extends. Maybe arms reach up overhead. Staying strong through the right glute, through the left quad. Maybe we twist over to the left. Left fingertips reach back. Right fingertips reach forward. Strengthen out the core. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale to slowly come all the way forward. Virabhadrasana 3, knitting rib cage up and in. Micro bend in the right knee. Slowly bending into the right knee on our exhale to soften left toes all the way to the back of the mat, finding our power lunge once again. And now we're just gonna twist to the right bicep over the right ear, strengthening out the core to give us some integrity. Inhale to lift all the way open. Left fingertips reach forward. Right fingertips reach back. Maybe we find the reverse. Right hand to the back of the left thigh. Left fingertips up and over. And on our exhale, we're going to open all the way up. Finding our warrior two. On our exhale, we're slowly going to straighten out right leg, bending into the left knee, landing in our Skandasana. Hips over the left foot. It's okay to be on left toes or to have hands on the mat. And now we're just going to bring hips all the way down, keeping legs exactly as they are. Taking your variation of side stretch, maybe right hand reaches for the left ankle, maybe left fingertips reach all the way forward, maybe left fingertips reach for the right toes, spinning left shoulder open here and pressing left knee open as well. So very active shape. We could even press right elbow into the inner right thigh, lengthening out the left side body. Also the right leg. When you're ready, we're gonna lift back up into a seat. Right hand is gonna come by the right hip and we're gonna lift hips here. So left fingertips reach all the way up and over, pulling heart through. Keeping glutes strong here for our playful variation of Fallen Star. And on our exhale, we're gonna meet back in our seat. And now either with hands or without hands, we're gonna lift up, finding our Skandasana. Exhale to come all the way forward. Warrior two, gazing off the right fingertips. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Left hand to the left thigh, right fingertips up and over. And on our exhale, we're gonna cartwheel hands down to frame out the right foot. And we're just gonna kick right toes back. Three-legged plank. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale to kick back, three-legged plank, core is strong, right glute on fire. Exhale, right knee into nose. Inhale, right toes kick back, three-legged plank. Exhale, right knee taps the right elbow. Inhale to kick back, three-legged plank, last one. Exhale to release right foot to the outside of right hand. Pressing into left hand, we're gonna spin right fingertips open, twisting out the upper body, getting into the outer right hip here. Maybe right fingertips reach all the way forward, extending this line of energy. And on our exhale, we're gonna come to the outer edge of both feet. Softening left hip down towards the mat, right fingertips reach all the way back, inviting so much length into the outer right hip. And from here, we're gonna lift the hips, keeping feet exactly as they are, and we're gonna kick right toes back, landing in our three-legged plank. And again, you can play with whatever resonates with you. Maybe right hand comes to the base of the skull, and we can play with lifting right toes really high, coming to tap the right side of the mat. Inhale to lift really high and tap the other side of the mat. Engaging into the core here, into the glutes, into the right hip flexors. Let's take a couple more. And we're all gonna meet through our wild thing. So pressing into the left hand, into the left foot to pull heart through, knowing this is all optional. From here, we're all gonna meet in a seat. Left leg extends, bending into the right knee, right foot is planted. Left toes are facing up. Arms are gonna reach up overhead. Take a big inhale, and on our exhale, we're gonna bow down. Option to find the bind behind the back, behind the right knee. Catching our breath for a moment here. And from here, maybe we play with coming back into wild thing and finding our crunches again. So bringing the right elbow into the right knee, engaging through the obliques, staying strong through the upper body as well. And now we're all gonna meet in a three-legged plank. Right toes are extended behind us, and on our exhale, the outside of right hand, shifting our weight forward and back here. Maybe we shake the head around a little bit, playing with whatever body is asking for today. Maybe we straighten out through the right leg. Maybe we come onto the right heel, inviting left hip forward, right hip back. So much length down the right hamstring here. And from here, we're gonna rebend into the right knee. We're gonna kick back into our three-legged down dog. Option to play with Ekapara Kundanyasana 2, bringing right shoulder underneath the right knee, lifting the right toes, maybe coming through Chaturanga in the arms, lifting the left toes. So right quad is super strong here. Core is strong, keeping hips straight. We don't really wanna lift left toes too much here. And on our exhale, we're gonna send right toes back, three-legged down dog. Maybe coming through with one-legged flow, bending into the elbows to pull the heart through. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come high. Let's take a deep bend in the knees, and on our exhale, we're gonna step or hop into our Malasana Yogi squat. Bring arms up overhead, take a deep inhale. Still pressing the knees open here. And on our exhale, hands are gonna come to opposite ankles. Pulling into the ankles here to press the back of the heart up. And on our exhale, release the hands, lift the hips, heel toe, feet back to hip width distance, and bow down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale to release. Inhale, rides the breath all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna move through one last little flow before we start to slow things down. Let's do it. Inhale, right leg extends. Last time here for the practice. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale to come forward into our Virabhadrasana 3. Knitting rib cage up and in. Crown of the head is reaching forward. And now we're going to bring fingertips out to the side. So finding like a T in the upper body. Engage into the core. Now we're just going to twist over to the left. Left shoulder stacks over the right shoulder. Twisting out upper body. Finding our reverse half moon. Maybe left hand, right hand can reach for the left ankle. Testing our balance here. And now we're just going to come back through our Virabhadrasana 3. And we're slowly going to bend into both knees. And we're going to bring right knee to the outer edge of the left foot. So landing in our seat. Left foot is to the outside of the right thigh. And now we're just going to twist, either hugging left knee in or bringing left hand by our side and pressing right elbow into the right knee. Maybe gazing off the left shoulder. Oh yeah. Wringing it all out. And from here, we're going to open up into our half moon. So however you need to get there, definitely take your time. We're in no rush. We're going to press into the left foot. Bring left hand underneath the left shoulder, sending right toes back. Right shoulder stacked on top of the left. Sometimes I think in Spanish and then I have to translate real quick. Sorry. Maybe play with hovering left fingertips off the mat. Maybe left fingertips reach all the way forward. Maybe right fingertips reach all the way forward. Playing with our balance. Maybe we take a bend into the right knee, right fingertips reach for the right toes, and if we have a bind, maybe we find a little kick. Playing with Ardha Chandra Chapasana, sugar cane. Playing with our sugar cane variation, kicking into the right hand. On our inhale, we're gonna meet back through our half moon if we took it anywhere else, and on our exhale we're slowly going to bend into the left knee, sending right foot back, warrior 2. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale to cartwheel the hands down, taking your flow of choice. Three-legged plank, slowly bending into the elbows. Inhaling through up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come high onto the toes, take a deep bend in the knees. Exhale to step or hop, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Exhale to release. Inhale, rides the breath all the way up. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Second side. Inhale, left leg extends long. Last time here for all of the practice now. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale to come forward into our Virabhadrasana 3. Knitting rib cage up and in, making sure we're not opening left hip here. From here, hands are going to come out to a T. And using the strength of the core, we're just going to rotate upper body over to the right until right shoulder stacks over the left. Left fingertips can come to hovering above the mat, or maybe left fingertips come to the right ankle to test your balance. Playing with our Pavrita Ardha Chandrasana. Reverse. Playing with our reverse half moon. From here, we're going to come back through our warrior 3. Hands can come to heart center. And on our exhale, we're slowly going to bend into both knees, bringing left knee to the outer edge of the right foot. Either hugging right knee in, or bringing right hand behind the back. Left elbow presses against the right knee to twist here. Maybe gazing off the right shoulder. I always imagine like when you're wringing out a towel and all the water is just falling down, letting go of everything that doesn't serve us anymore, watering the earth beneath us, growing from all of our lessons in life. And from here we're gonna meet through our half moon. So kicking off, grounding through the right foot, right hand underneath right shoulder, left fingertips extend. So stacking left shoulder over the right shoulder. Maybe we play with hovering the right fingertips. Maybe right fingertips reach forward. Maybe left fingertips reach all the way forward. Keeping core strong here. This side is harder for me. And now maybe we play with bending into the left knee. Left fingertips reach for the left toes, and if we have the bind, maybe we find a little kick here. Opening the heart from wherever you are. This is just an option. On our inhale, we're gonna meet back through our half moon if we took it anywhere else. And on our exhale, we're gonna slowly bend into the right knee, releasing left toes parallel to the back of the mat, gazing off the right fingertips, warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale to cartwheel the hands down, taking our flow of choice, maybe coming through a three-legged plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's soften knees down to the mat, coming into a seat on the shins, and we're just gonna take a round of camel. You can take wheel or bridge pose, anything that resonates with you today. Also, any variation of camel that resonates with you today. Maybe left hand comes to the right thigh, right fingertips can come to the right ankle, and we can play with pressing hips up. So we're twisting out upper body. Maybe left fingertips reach all the way back, as if the left shoulder was stacked over the right shoulder. And on our exhale, we're gonna release and swap it out, knowing that any variation of camel is okay, or any back bend. Left hand to the left ankle, right hand to the outer left thigh. Press the hips up. Maybe right fingertips reach all the way back. Twisting upper body here. And on our exhale, we're gonna release. Untuck the toes. We're gonna zip the thighs together and bow down. Hands are gonna come to the bottoms of the feet, and we're gonna play with pressing the crown of the head forward and down. So grounding down to the earth through the crown of the head, which is very important. We can even play with basketing the hands. Maybe we lift the knees, maybe finding headstand for a moment. Play with anything that resonates with you. We can definitely stay in our rabbit's pose as long as we are grounding the crown of the head down to the mat. And if you're in your headstand, I'm just going to invite that we play with bringing our toes almost all the way down, sending the hips back, engaging into the core. Now maybe we relift, sorry. Playing with a couple more of those. I'm pretty tired today. So I think I'm gonna stay here. Let's take 3 more cycles of breath from wherever we are. And when you're ready, let's release just as slowly as we came into it, if possible. And just relax, maybe bringing knees wide, softening the forehead to the earth for a moment, finding our child's pose. And when you're ready, let's come up into a seat. Cross over the ankles, and we're gonna meet through our boat pose. So lifting toes, fingertips can stay on the earth by your side, or maybe fingertips reach all the way forward. And on our exhale, we're gonna play with coming into low boat. So toes are gonna be hovering above the mat, softening the back towards the mat. And on our inhale, we're gonna lift back up, fingertips in between the legs. And on our exhale, we're gonna lower down, low boat, engage the core. Inhale to lift, this time fingertips by our side. And let's take a couple more, alternating, engaging into the core here. Fingertips can even come all the way up and over in our low boat if you want a little bit more of a challenge. Let's take a couple more. And when you're ready, we're gonna meet in our low boat. Soften the shoulders all the way down. Lift the toes high. And from here, we're gonna roll all the way back. So press into the hands to bring toes all the way up overhead. Finding our halasana, plow pose. Hands can come to the lower back if you feel like you need a little bit more support. So we're lengthening out the entire back body. My legs get really messy sometimes. From here, we're gonna bend into the knees. Maybe knees squeeze the ears here. All our options. And from here, we're gonna re-straighten out through the legs. And we're gonna slowly roll down the spine. Make it feel good, like a little self-massage. And we're gonna come all the way forward, either into our forward fold, or maybe we find our crow pose here, knees to the backs of the arms, lifting the toes. So in your crow pose, toes are touching here, although anything that gets you there for the sake of practicing. And we're just gonna move through our last flow of practice. So whatever that is, we're all gonna meet in our last down dog. And on our exhale, we're gonna cross over, soften the knees down, cross over the ankles, coming into a seat. So planting down through the feet, we're gonna keep knees bent and engage into the core to slowly roll all the way down. That wasn't slow at all, it's okay. Onto the back, take your time. From here, we're gonna bring right knee into the chest. Left leg extends, so we're bringing right thigh into the right rib cage. And now maybe hands interlace somewhere behind the right thigh on the little hollow, or maybe the right calf, maybe all the way to the foot. Maybe you need a strap, it's all good. We're all getting the same benefits from this. And now right hand is gonna come out to a T or to cactus shape. We're gonna take our final supine twist. Make sure that both shoulders are engaged with the earth here. So take any variation that you'd like. My favorite is to bring the left hand to the outer edge of the right foot. Let me readjust my mic. And extend right leg towards the left side of the mat. Spinning heart open here. Maybe right fingertips reach for the left toes. Just sing, but also opening the heart here, which is why I love this one so much. Although you can open your heart from any shape. And now we're just gonna come back through center. Right knee stacks over the left thigh. We're just gonna hug left knee in, interlacing hands on the left shin or on the left thigh. Pulling left knee in, lengthening out the outer right hip. And now we're gonna keep this interlace in the hands. We're just gonna straighten out right leg. So pulling left thigh into the left rib cage. And now we're just gonna extend through the left leg, hands interlace either on the left foot or the left calf or behind the left thigh. So we're pulling the shoulders down to the mat here. Now we're just gonna take our final twist. So any variation is perfect. You could find eagle legs or just stack knees over each other. Maybe right hand reaches for the outer edge of the left foot, and we can bring left foot all the way over to the right, making sure that our shoulders are engaged with the mat. Maybe left fingertips reach for the right toes, spinning heart over. Also lengthen to the outer left hip around the glute area, which we worked our glutes really hard today. And when you're ready, we're just gonna bring left ankle to stack over the right thigh, hugging right knee in, lengthening out to the outer left hip. And now we're gonna hug both knees in. We're gonna lift the shoulders, interlace hands, so hands on opposite elbows, and we're just gonna bring knees into nose and squeeze yourself as hard as you can. And I always do this, you don't have to. I like to think of something that makes me thankful and happy, or someone that I love, or something that I love. I like to think about little things, you know, like the sun came up, and if we didn't have a sun, that would not be so great. And I don't know, having fresh water, clean water, and a roof over my head, and just simple things that we feel so thankful for, and let that appreciation and love wrap you up as you squeeze tight like a cosmic blanket that arises from within. And on our exhale, we're gonna keep the interlace of the hands. We're just gonna soften shoulders down to the earth, maybe rocking side to side. Taking any final little movements that you need before arriving in Shavasana. You can take a happy baby, or maybe you need to turn a light off or get a blanket. I like to let my hair down so that I don't feel so constricted. And on our exhale, we're gonna release, either coming into Shavasana or maybe coming up into a seat. Closing the eyes, softening into this earth beneath us that is always supporting us. This is our final moment of integration. I know that sometimes it can feel difficult to quiet the mind and to find stillness, but I think that it makes it a lot easier when we realize that it's not so much about silencing the mind. Like, we can't help having these very human experiences, and sometimes we strive so much for being, you know, perfect and keeping our mind blank. But I think that it's more about sitting in a place of awareness and being the observer of your thoughts and allowing them to come and then go, and not creating so much resistance around the fact that our mind is going to wander sometimes. And maybe even allowing ourselves to remember that there is nothing except the present. So even if your mind is wandering, it's wandering in the present. I think we could all learn how to be a little bit easier on ourselves. This is our final moment of integration. Let go of the eyes, soften the eyelids, soften the eyebrows. Let body melt into the earth beneath. Taking long inhales and slow exhales. Integrating this beautiful practice and allowing the benefits to come into body slowly. Even just a couple minutes a day of Shavasana does wonders for the body, because sometimes changes happen so subconsciously that our conscious mind doesn't immediately recognize it. But our body is so smart. The cells and our DNA remember so much more than our conscious mind does. So just having a little bit of easing the resistance of vibrational patterns gives body the entryway to be able to create new vibrational patterns that are more aligned with what we are wanting to create in life. So as we take a couple minutes to tune into body, we can allow body to have some time to maybe help us align with the story that we want to tell. So we are free right this second to start telling a new story and start telling it how we want it to be instead of how we think it is, because everything that is already materialized in front of us is all from past manifestations. The present and the future are within, and as we change our vibrational thought patterns little by little, it seeps into the physical world, and it all starts with our emotions, our energy in motion. It's important to tune into ourselves, into our beings, so that we can create the life that we want for ourselves, that we deserve, because we are worthy of achieving our dreams and creating the life that we want. And it all starts from within, with the story that we're telling ourselves. So that's why I think meditation and shavasana is important, because we don't need to meditate to just decide to start telling a new story, but sometimes there's just a culmination and momentum of stuff that is from the past, that easing the mind, quieting the mind a little bit, and sitting in stillness allows us to slow down these patterns so that we can create new patterns. Maybe we start to wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, keeping eyes closed for as much as possible. Taking a big inhale, letting it expand the lungs. Maybe arms reach up overhead, taking a final stretch. Now, keeping eyes closed for as long as you can, maybe rolling onto your preferred side. And what I'm going to invite is that we let whatever ear is on the earth soften into the earth. Allow yourself to feel cradled and held and supported, because you always are, especially if it doesn't feel like it. That just means that you are blocking yourself from feeling all of this love that is always here for you. And sometimes unhappiness happens, but we can choose to dwell on better feeling thoughts and feelings. And we are worthy and loved and supported. Slowly making our way up into a seat. Let's take one final cycle of breath together. We're going to inhale from the base of the lungs and picture that filling us all the way up into the chest. We're going to hold for one, and on our exhale through the mouth, we can visualize seeing the air from the top of the lungs releasing all the way to the bottom. So let's do it. Thank you so much for taking this time for yourself, first and foremost. Namaste. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, week, lifetime, eternity. Aho.